Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. Today I just wanted to tell you to keep going. I know some days it is really hard, but you have to keep pushing. Look at it this way. What other choice do you really have? If you don't do the recovery work, it's going to get worse. If you do the recovery work, it's going to get better. So you need to choose to do the work every moment of every day. It's not that I'm going to choose to do it tomorrow. I'm going to choose to do it next week. No, right now, you know something is going to come in terms of a thought or a compulsion, depending on your situation, on your theme. But something is going to come in, and then you'll have a choice whether you're going to do what you always do or you're going to disregard. And the disregarding is harder. It's hard to live with uncertainty. But this is what you need to do because you need to train your brain that these thoughts are not valid, right? Going back to how OCD works, anybody can get a thought. Same thoughts. People with OCD, people without OCD, people get the same thoughts. But the person who was about to develop OCD thought, oh, this means something, this is important, I'm scared of this thought. The brain learned that and sent the thought again because the person was scared. And then the person reacted with fear again, so the brain sent it again. And this ping pong game continued, and the neural pathway grew stronger and stronger. The connection between the stimuli, the theme, the trigger, the thought, and fear keeps growing. So the more you keep powering it up, the more it keeps growing. And you need to start to say, no, I'm done. I'm disregarding. The brain literally has no idea what these thoughts are. It's just basically sending back to you the way you reacted to it. If you reacted to it in a different way, without fear, it wouldn't send it. But the mechanism is to try to protect you. So anything you fear, your brain has to give you kind of an update, a notice on, you know what I mean? Like a notification, like on your phone, right? It just keeps popping up that notification. But you reacting with fear is what's keeping it going. So the more you react with fear, the more you do these compulsions, because when you do the compulsion, you do it out of fear. And the brain, even though it doesn't understand the thought, it does understand that you're doing it out of fear, which means it needs to send it to you again and again and again and again. And that's what it does. It just keeps sending it to you on autopilot all the time, you know? So in order for it to learn that this is no longer valid, you have to be uncomfortable and still do nothing. And the brain will see that, oh, look, you're being uncomfortable, but yet you're not doing the compulsion, and yet nothing bad happened. That means the thought is no longer valid, and that neural pathway starts to die out very slowly, just like it grew over time, it got built over time. Now it starts to kind of dissipate, but it's going to take a little bit of time. So, when you're starting to do the work and you're like, why am I not better? It's because A, there needs to be a lot of repetitions, and B, you have to be very very much sending a clear signal with your repetitions, because if you're kind of back and forth, then you're confusing your brain more, so to speak. So you have to be like, no, we're disregarding. So I'm always disregarding, and always is kind of a relative term. It's not going to be 100% of the time, but it's going to be most of the time, and that's what you need to do. And this is the hardest thing, and I understand that it's easy in theory and hard in practice, but you have to do this every single day to the best of your ability. I promise you, you will see results if you do it. I've helped people for 10 years now. I've never seen a person not see results when they do the work. And as you do the work, as you attempt to do the work, you will get better at it. So if you're saying, well, I can't do it, it's so hard. Well, can you do 5% more? No? Okay, can you do 1% more? More push in disregarding, more push in not getting into the thoughts. Just 1% more push. It's pretty much nothing, because you're still doing 95 or 99% compulsions compared to the previous day, of course, right? So, and then the next day, a little bit less, and just cutting it down. Because you start to cut down like this very slowly, your brain will start to adjust and the anxiety will start to go down. So you will not feel like you're making another huge step every single day. Do you know what I mean? Because the anxiety is going down as you are doing more work, right? So you feel generally the same, but you're doing increasingly more, So it's not an all or nothing thing. I hear when clients start the recovery program, a lot of the times they'll say, well, I'm just going to do all of the work 100% of the time, Ali. I feel inspired. I'm going to do this, Then a day goes by and they're like, no, I can't do it all in one day. It's too hard, because it is too hard, But if you do the best you can, and the best you can vary day to day, because it depends on circumstances, your stress levels, what's going on in your life. But if you do the best you can on this day, then that's all you can do. And tomorrow you build on today's progress. And it doesn't matter if it was a little bit of progress, a lot of progress. Maybe you just stayed still for the day, you know? Right? So things like the standing still, even a small step back can happen. I see everybody has steps back, right? But most of the time, the majority of the time, you have to move forward to send a clear signal that you are done. You are now using reaction, and there should be an increase. Even if you're starting out, with mostly compulsions, every day increasing the amount of refusal that you do. So you're sending a clear message to the brain, and the brain will respond. At first, it will actually send you more thoughts to try to get you back into anxiety. Don't be scared of that. That's a temporary process of the brain. It's just trying everything it can to get you back into panic. You can't give in. You just look at it that, okay, it's uncomfortable. That is a good thing. It means that there's shift happening. A lot of the times clients actually tell me that they feel something happening in their brain, that they feel a shift, how it's processing, So there is actual change happening. You have to give it time, but you have to be focused, not on, I'm just going to do the work generally, but right now, starting with the next thought, no matter what, I'm going to do the work. If I can't refuse reassurance, if I can't refuse doing compulsion, I'm going to at least delay. Delaying is also a step forward, especially when you're feeling really bad. Delaying works. Okay, I'm not going to look at it right now. I'm going to wait, say, a day, then I will look at it. And pushing it off always, that really helps as well. I hope you find my videos helpful. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I do daily videos about all things related to OCD. If you would like to do the recovery program with me, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up from there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.